Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us yet again for our latest webinar of 2023, this time focused very much on the family holiday market. Obviously, we have school holidays for some have already begun, and for the rest of the country, I think this Friday is when most of the state schools break up. So what better time is there than to talk about the family market? I'm delighted we are joined today by two fantastic supplier partners of ours who are keen to develop a stronger working relationship with you all. So yes, let's meet them. Firstly, can we please say hello to Emma Charlesworth, the Marketing Manager, UK and Ireland at Khaimah. Lovely to see you again, Emma. Are you well?
I am very well. Thank you, Simon. How are you?
Yeah, no, I'm good. Thank you very much. As you can see, I've got into the swing of the last 2 weeks with my tennis top on, which has lots of little tennis rackets on. I won't be sporting a golf one over the next few days, so I don't have one. But anyway,
fair enough.
If anyone, gifts obviously accepted. But anyway, and also we're joined today by Fenella Toby, who is the Senior Account Manager for Florida Keys and Key West. Fenella, are you well?
Hello, yes, really good, thank you, very good. I hope you all are well, guys. Nice to see you all.
Yes, no, they are. We've had a little bit of concern in the house, so to speak, with some of the agents concerned that their cameras might be on, etc. Don't worry, you're all off. We won't be watching you turning the kettle on while we're presenting or anything like that. So no, we will be passing your details on, but we can't see you. So we hope you're all listening and enjoying our afternoon presentations this afternoon. So just to let you know how we're going to work this today, the format, both of our presenters will deliver a live presentation followed by a short Q&A. So if you do want to ask questions, and we hope you do, please use our Q&A function as always. Put the questions to them and I will ask them at the end of the presentation. It's useful, if you can to think of things that are going to be useful for you to then pass on to your customers. So anything that might relate to the destination, to any of the things that they present. Just by way of example, obviously Fenella is presenting something that in terms of the keys that extends over, well, I'm guessing a couple of 100 miles or whatever. So yeah, without getting into
125.
There you go. So there's lots of opportunity for staying and going and staying, you know, with each of these, and each of the keys has a unique aspect to it. Likewise with the Khaimah, Emma will present to you lots of options, I'm sure, but a number of them may be quite athletic, should we say. So there will be, well, maybe athletic may be the wrong term, but adventurous, should we say. So there'll be, so again, it's about the type of clientele that might work for that and questions you have relating to that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do those two presentations. Emma's going to go first, and then Fenella will join us in about 15 minutes or so. And then they'll give you details of their prizes and anything else that we can enter into as well. Okay, without further ado, we can see you again shortly, Fenella, and Emma, if you would like to share your screen and take it away.
Okay, perfect. Let me just share. And hopefully you can see my screen now. But yeah, thank you so much for the introduction, Simon. Hi, everybody that's joined today. My name is Emma. I am the UK Market Manager for Khaimah. And I'm going to highlight today why we are an amazing family holiday destination. And I'm going to start with a very quick little video. So Ras Al Khaimah certainly offers something for everybody in terms of a destination, but it very much, and even more this year more than ever, it offers a lot for amazing family holidays. And I'm just going to highlight some of the key parts of the destination and activities and adventures and things that that families can get up to. But just starting with this map, just to get a little flavour for the destination. Over on the right hand side of the map, on the coast, we've got Marjan Island. Now, to get to Marjan Island, this is a 45-minute transfer from Dubai International Airport. So that is the easiest way to get up to Ras Al Khaimah. Obviously we're in the UAE, we're the furthest north. So yeah, flying into Dubai Airport, 45 minutes up the highway, you're in Ras Al Khaimah. So whether you're coming to us as a single centre to stay on one of our properties, whether you want to multi-centre us with a few nights in Dubai, then coming up to us for a stay, or even if you've got clients on a cruise in and out of Dubai, think of us as a pre-post cruise stopover destination as well. We're just up the highway, but obviously we are a very different sort of destination. So yeah, you can see on this map, we've got an amazing coastline. We've got 64 kilometres of incredible beaches in Ras Al Khaimah. So starting from the right, and I'll go into a bit more detail in these, we've got Marjan Island. We've got then a bit further along the coast, Al Hamra village. Then we've got an area called Mina Al Arab, and then right almost in the centre of the map there, where all the waterways are, you can see that's where the downtown area of Ras Al Khaimah is. So we've got all this amazing coastline with lots happening. Then behind the beaches, we've got lots of desert. Obviously, it's the UAE. We've got a lot of amazing desert space and lots of amazing activities happening here. But what makes us unique is that we're the only one of the Emirates that actually has the mountains as well. So you can see the Hajar mountain range behind the coast on the map. And on the very left-hand side, you've got Jebel Jais. This is the highest peak in the UAE. And we've got some amazing things happening up here that are very, very family friendly. So when you think of Ras Al Khaimah, you think of mountains, deserts, beaches, and that's what is actually represented in our little logo that you see on all of our marketing. So just to go into a bit more detail on some of the different areas. So Marjan Island, probably the most recognised part of Ras Al Khaimah in terms of where a lot of our top selling hotels are. So Marjan Island, you'll find hotels such as the Rixos Baba Bar, you've got the Doubletree Hilton Marjan Island. We've also got Movenpick, we've got Radisson, Hampton Hilton are the big main hotels in this area. They're all extremely family orientated properties. You can see in the pictures and on the video, you know, a lot of them have got lots of water activities for the kids. They've got excellent kids clubs. Marjan Island itself, you can come out of the hotels, you can go in and use restaurant facilities at the other hotels, as well as on the island itself. You get a lot of locals will come out in the evenings with food trucks, and you can go out and have some local food as well as big play parks, and you can hire bikes up and down the island. So there's absolutely loads happening on Marjan Island for any families that come to stay in that part of the destination. Then a little bit further along the coast, we've got Al Hamra village. Again, there is a lot happening here for families as well. Outside the hotels, there's a mall, there's a marina with bits you can get out and about to. This is, in terms of properties, a bit more high end. We've got Waldorf Astoria here, and we've also got Ritz-Carlton. Again, properties that offer fantastic kids facilities, a little bit higher end. Then the next little area along the coast, and again, these aren't far apart, you know, from Marjan Island to Mina Al Arab here, you can see on screen, it's only about 15 minutes in a taxi. So everything's very compact in Ras Al Khaimah. But Mina Al Arab, really, you know, an up and coming part of the destination for sure. We opened Intercontinental Mina Al Arab last year, which has become incredibly popular this year. It's got fantastic villas for families. They also offer an all-inclusive program, as well as all the kids' facilities. And this is actually the area where we're going to be opening Anantara at the end of this year, so we're very excited about that one. And then just a bit further along the coast, again, we have got downtown Ras Al Khaimah. The two properties that are closest to downtown are the Hilton Ras Al Khaimah Beach and the Cove Rotana. Again, both fantastic properties, massive beaches. Like the Hilton Ras Al Khaimah Beach has 1.6 kilometers of private beach, and it's really family friendly, gently sloping, as it is with most of our hotels, really, really family orientated, with fantastic family rooms and facilities at the hotels. And if you're in the downtown area, you've also got all the malls and stuff right on your doorstep as well. So something for everybody across all the different parts of the destination. And like I said before, with Anna and Tara coming, we have got other hotels due to come to the destination over the next 5-6 years as well. So you can see on here, we've got brands like Earthshore coming to Marjan Island, which is going to be a very eco-sustainable brand for families. We've got Meridian and Westin that I'm sure a lot of you are already familiar with from other parts of the UAE. And we've also got Nobu and Wynn hotels coming to the destination. So all of these properties in the future are going to offer even more fantastic family properties. And then just to talk about the destination itself and what families can get out and about and see and do in the destination. And with Ras Al Khaimah, what makes us very different to other parts of the UAE is that we're still a much more authentic UAE destination. You know, we're not a big high-rise city. We've got a lot more history, a lot more historical things to come out and about and see, like our museums and our mosques. One of our most popular in the city centre is visiting Daya 4. If you've got clients that are interested in things like architecture and archaeology, this is a great place to head up to visit. You climb right to the top of the fort and get these incredible views down over the rest of the destination. And it's actually on the tentative UNESCO Heritage Site list. And this is actually next door to a working date farm that started to open up to tourism as well. And the locals really excited to show off all the local produce that's coming out of the destination. So this is a really nice place to visit. And something else that's really good, and this is very, very family orientated as well, is our pearl farm. Diving for pearls was basically the only source income for the local people living on the coast as far back as the 12th century. So pearls have a long-standing history in the destination, and the locals are very, very proud of this history. So they've opened a working pearl farm over the last few years, and it's completely open to tourism now, and it's a beautiful place to visit. You go out on one of the old traditional dhow cruise ships, and they go through our mangroves. And in our mangroves, we've got, you know, sea turtles, you can see wild flamingos, you see wild camels that walk along the beaches. So you have this really nice, relaxing, like nature experience on the boat ride. But then obviously you get to the farm, they take you aboard, they teach you all about the history, and they've got all local jewelers on site making local pearl jewelry. So it's really interesting and a really nice, relaxing day out on the mangroves that we highly recommend. And of course, with all the amazing beaches that we've got at all our properties, we've also got really good water activities. So some of our hotels have got floating water parks that sit out the front that are fantastic for families. You can go kayaking, and that's even in the mangroves, not just in the sea as well. So you can get really up close and personal with nature. Lots of motorised and non-motorised water sports are available in the destination. And then heading back to the deserts, there's so much happening here for families. So we do, you know, we've got a nature reserve out here. So we do proper nature drives where the families can go out and get up and close and personal with all the animals. Of course, we do all the dune bashing safaris and the camel trekking that families would expect to be able to do in the UAE. And out here, we've actually got an equestrian centre with retired racehorses as well. So you can do horseback riding through the desert and things like falcon shows, lots of real nature-based experiences out here that are great for families. Also, we're doing hot air balloon rides out here too, and families can partake in this. I think there's a height limit, but it is quite small. So families can certainly come out and do this as an amazing family experience. They pick you up before the sun rises and you're up in the air before the sun comes up behind the mountains. You get these incredible views. Yeah, definitely a once in a lifetime experience doing this one. And of course, in the deserts, we've got our camps as well. And with our camps, there's something for every type of family. So, you know, we've got our luxury camp, which is called Sonara, where you can go and have a proper like sit down fine dining experience, but something a bit more casual like our Basata village, the dunes camping and safari, and the Bedouin Oasis camp, very family orientated. You can do you know, the 4x4 drive and then have the barbecue and the entertainment, and you can get henna tattoos and things like that. So lots of great options for families at our camps as well. And then heading up to the mountains, so much happening up here, and a lot of it's very family orientated as well. And I'm just going to show you another quick video highlighting some of the things we have here. So yeah, you can be pretty adventurous up in our mountains. So everything from miniature golf to paragliding. Our biggest attraction is that we've got the Jay's Flight, which is the Guinness certified world's longest zip line. You know, young children can go on this. The minimum height requirement is 1.2 meters. So we do get a lot of kids coming up here with the families and doing that as well. But our biggest family attraction in the mountains is definitely our sledder. The Jay Sledder is super popular, and there's no sort of minimum height. It's more the weight of the combined travelers, because you can have two, so like a mum and a daughter or a dad and a son, whatever, can go on it together. You control it, you control the speed of it yourself down the mountain, and it's so popular that we've had to create a new ticket type for it, which gives them 3 goes in one. So that, because every time the kids go on at once, they get to the bottom and they want to go, I want to go again, I want to go again. So we've had to do a 3-in-1 combo ticket to satisfy all the children that love coming up here. So really great for kids. And up here in the same places, you can do our zip lines and the sledder. We've got the UAE's highest restaurant, 1484 by Puro. So you can easily come up here, do a few activities, and have a nice lunch at the same time. And then just a couple of other things we have in the destination. Obviously back down in the city centre, I mentioned before, we have got shopping malls. There's one out at Alhambra, there's one in the downtown itself, Manor Mall. So families can go and spend a day doing some of the sort of high brand shopping that you would expect to be able to do in the UAE, as well as all the traditional souks that we have there as well. And then something I just want to mention as well, because this is actually happening around the half-term time when we do have a lot of families coming out in the destination. Ras Al Khaimah is going to be host to the Mini Football World Cup this year, which we're very excited about. We're building a stadium for it, which is going to be right next to the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. So that's very close to Marjan Island. Anybody that's in the destination at the time will get free tickets to go to any of the matches. And we have got England and Ireland competing in this. So it's something that's very exciting that some families might be really interested to go and spend a day doing this while they're in the destination. And then I just want to finish on 2 quick points. Number 1, guys, don't forget that we have got our booking rewards program, which is www.rackrewards.com. If you log your bookings to the destination on here, every 60 days, we pick one of the bookings out of the draw, and whoever has made it will win a 5-night half-board stay at one of our amazing world-class hotels. And on top of that, we have also just in the last few months launched our brand new online training platform. So this is with OTT training, and you can scan the QR code on the screen to get access to that. But we are running an incentive with that, and anybody that completes it by the 31st of July will be in with a chance of getting out on our next fam trip in the autumn. So do make sure you go on and do that. And guys, that is it from me.
Wonderful, thank you, Emma. That was fantastic. Managed to fit it all in, which is great. So I've got some questions for you.
Okay.
And Lisa Towie asks, well, she's asked a couple of things. In fact, she was our most active responder, okay, which is good. Well done, Lisa. Yes. She asked, first of all, in terms of the geography of it, which is what you spent a fair bit about to start with, can you walk from Marjan Island to downtown?
No.
Okay.
UAE is not built for walking. You can walk about, like if you're in Alhambra, you can walk about. If you're on Marjan Island, you can walk up and down Marjan Island in those little areas, yes. But if you come out from those areas, you're on main roads. There's no like real pedestrianized parts. It's easier to use taxis. There's taxi apps out in the UAE that are just like Uber, and they're super cheap.
Okay, so get a cab and then pop down. Okay. She also asks, as a secondary thing, I think we all know the answer to this, and I don't think she means it as in a sort of proper. Anyway, I'll ask the question: is there a wet or even a vaguely damp season in sort of Ras Al Khaimah, or when is the time of year when it's going to be sort of coolest, shall we say?
So our winter is when it's coolest, so December, January, but by no means is it ever cool. And it very, very rarely rains. Very rarely. It's
so
pretty
up in
much
the mountains, maybe a bit or something.
Yeah, even in the mountains, you don't tend to get much rain. It's a lot cooler when you're up in the mountains, for sure. So it is a nice place to go for a bit of respite if you're there on a really hot time of the year. But yeah, look, you're pretty much guaranteed fantastic sunshine all the time in Ras Al Khaimah.
Okay, well that's good. Jo Hall asks as well. She says, Emma, you mentioned all-inclusive. Do all of the hotels offer that, or does it just sort of really depend on the hotel by hotel?
It depends on the hotel, but I would say that the majority of them do offer it now. It seems to be what we're becoming very, very well known for, is that most of our hotels have got a real premium all-inclusive. A few of them also have ultra all-inclusive, which, you know, really does mean that absolutely everything's included, and that would mainly be the Marjan Island properties. But yeah, not all of them, but I'd say the majority.
Okay, and the last question is from me, and that is, with regards to the Mini World Cup, I've never heard of the Mini World Cup. When did this when did this come about? Is it just five-a-side, or what is it? I don't know anything about it.
It is five-a-side. That's exactly what it is. So yeah, it's the World Federation of five-a-side football. It's huge. I hadn't heard of it until we started to bid for the event to come to Ras Al Khaimah, and I had no idea how big it was. And now we've been in touch with a lot of the local teams that are going to be heading out there, and it is huge. And a lot of their friends and their families are going out to be there at the event. It's going to be very, very big, and we're very excited about it.
Can I ask, on a purely sort of don't get too excited, Simon, type level, is what are the are we split up, or are we GB, or is it England, and have we got Northern Ireland and Scotland and Wales going out there separately? Or
so the ones that have qualified for the World Cup are just England and Ireland.
Okay, but are we fancied?
I have absolutely no idea. I'll say yes. Well, I'm Irish, so I need to go for the Irish team.
Right. Okay. Well. On that note, we will hope for the best on that. If you now would mind sharing your competition prize, tell us what that's going to be, and then give us details of the question.
So, my prize today is a £50 John Lewis voucher. And the question is, what is the name of the family-friendly mountain toboggan ride that goes through the Ras Al Khaimah mountains?
There we go. So it's a £50 John Lewis voucher. What is the name of the family-friendly mountain toboggan ride in the mountains? Now, don't please put it on the chat. I know some of you are already doing. Please, you have to go to, at the end of the webinar, you go to our website, travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition will be the link. I will say it again more slowly now. So it's travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition. At the end of the webinar, go there, and you've got at least 3 or 4 days to enter. So don't worry, you can always watch us all again in the edited version, where maybe we're a bit more. Anyway, I will chat less about the mini football. Anyway, thank you very much, Emma. Really appreciate that. I will see you again at the end.
Thank you.
Okay, great. Now we have Fenella, who is back with us once more. Fenella, I will, without further ado, leave you to share and begin.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All righty. Can everybody see a big Florida Keys sign? Are we all on? Hopefully everyone can see that. Well, thank you so much for joining me today, guys. Really appreciate it. So I'm going to be talking through the Florida Keys and Key West, and I've got 10 top facts that are going to be able to help you really understand the key USPs in selling the Florida Keys and Key West. But today it's all framed around, obviously, the family market. So traditionally, I feel the Florida Keys and Key West doesn't necessarily, or isn't branded necessarily as a family destination. So I'm going to be telling you all the different things that make it, yes, accessible and a great place for families to come on holiday. One of the main ones, of course, is that we have a direct flight with Orlando. So Florida is very family friendly in general. So coming to the Florida Keys is also a fantastic addition to do with your wider Florida itineraries. Lots of people go to the parks and have a fantastic adrenaline-filled time going on all of the roller coasters and the rides. But after that, you probably, after all the screaming children, need to have some wind down time and want to take the kids to actually have a relaxed holiday. And that is when you want to come and travel down through the Florida Keys and Key West. So one of the main reasons people love to come and explore the Keys is the Overseas Highway. So the Overseas Highway is a string of 42 bridges that connect all the way down to Key West, and it's connecting Key West to the mainland and all of the other regions. So as we kind of touched upon before, it's 125 miles from the mainland all the way down. There's 5 main regions that we like to talk about, and that's Key Largo, Islamorada, Marathon, Big Pine in the Lower Keys, and then Key West as well. So as we go through, so these are the kind of main regions that we're going to be talking about today. The easiest way to get there is to get on a flight from the UK direct and then fly straight into Miami, pick up your rental car and then drive down through the Keys. But there is a lot of flexibility in how you want to do your Florida Keys itinerary. We have our tiny little airport down in Key West. It is small, but it is mighty, and it gives you a lot of flexibility in terms of getting around. As I said before, we have the direct flight with Orlando. So piecing together a more family-oriented itinerary is really easy. Again, lots of families love to go to New York City, so they do a week in the city, and then they got the direct flight across to Key West, and they can come and do the more Caribbean, relaxed style holiday, traveling through the Keys back up to Miami and flying out that way. But we do have some other great connections with Chicago, Dallas. There's lots of possibilities. And then also we have our ferry going from Key West up to Fort Myers. So up onto that other coast, you can do a really lovely full circle Florida itinerary if you wanted to. So number 3, in terms of activities, we have the dive capital of the world in Key Largo, which is our northernmost island. And Key Largo is only an hour from Miami, so very accessible. It is a wonderful place to explore. We have the 3rd largest Great Barrier Reef. And in terms of families and kids, it's a great place to actually get your diving certificate. It's really easy to do. And it's also the start of the shipwreck trail in Key Largo. So on the map, on the top right, you can see lots of red flags. Now these are shipwrecks. So these shipwrecks go all the way down throughout the Keys. So you can explore different shipwrecks, different depths, great for novices and also experienced divers as well. But we've also got kayaking, beautiful place to go picnicking in the John Pennekamp Coral Reef State Park is a fantastic place to explore. But all of your water sports, definitely a place to do it is in Key Largo. Now, number 4, we also have the gateway to the Everglades National Park just off Key Largo as well. So exploring this with your kids is a great activity to do. Do watch out for the crocodiles and the alligators. It is the only place in the world that they coexist. So if you want to go find them, you can, but it's not compulsory. But kayaking over here is absolutely stunning. As you can see in the top picture where that water is cloudy, that is because they are kayaking over the saltwater boundary. So that is where the fresh water of the Everglades is meeting the salt water of the Florida Bay. But exploring the Everglades by bicycle as well is fantastic. You can go on a hovercraft also. It's a real just nature adventure up this way. Number 5, so conservation is really important to the way of life out in the Florida Keys and Key West. We are really keen on growing that next generation of conservationists and marine biologists. So with that in mind, let's kind of venture down to Marathon. So we're halfway down through the Keys now. There's lots of great activities here for families to do. Number 1 is the Turtle Hospital. So who doesn't love turtles? They're incredibly cute, but occasionally they do get injured and they need a little bit of help. So they get taken in at the Turtle Hospital. You can go and see them there. You can go on tours around the hospital, learn about the turtles and their environment. And if there are any turtles that are ready to be released while you're visiting, everybody is welcomed to go and watch. This one's called Ziggy, get released onto his beach and swim back to his home. It's a lovely full circle event to be a part of if we can be. We've also got the Dolphin Research Centre, which is a non-for-profit charity set up to help and protect dolphins in the area. It's a forever home for some that can't be released, but also a rehabilitation centre for others that can. But it's a great place to go and really learn about the dolphins, how we can protect their environment going forwards. You don't see them doing any organised dance routines or anything like that, but they are incredibly intelligent. So if you want to interact with them, you can. If they come up to you, you're more than welcome to interact with them. But it's a wonderful place to kind of explore all of the different activities down here. And then aquarium encounters as well. Really good one for kind of smaller children. This is a great way of giving them a real insight into what the coral reef has to offer, how we can look after it, what kind of the environmental pressures are on it. You can explore some of the amazing fish and species that we have in and around the area. We obviously attract so many beautiful fish and wildlife because of the warm waters all year round. So number 6, I've obviously spoken about the turtles and the dolphins. But we have an incredible array of wildlife in the Florida Keys. So it's a wonderful place for families to come and explore the really diverse wildlife we have in the area. So the key deer are a great one. They are a big draw to the Florida Keys. Now, they mostly live around the Big Pine in the Lower Keys area, so down the bottom. But the picture here, they are incredibly cute. They're only 2.5 feet tall, and they roam freely around the islands here, and they love to swim. So watch out if you're having a picnic on a sandbank. They will pop up and nick a sandwich if they can. But they're absolutely lovely, and they're surrounded by hardwood trees and mangrove forests and great places to explore. We also have the great white heron and the wildlife refuge here. He's a big bird with huge wingspan, and they sweep low over the shallow islands here. So as you can see in the top picture, it's a lot of beautiful crystal clear waters. Going kayaking here, especially if you've got small children, is perfect, because if they fall out, they can literally just stand up and walk back to the islands. It's a very safe place to be let loose to go and explore. But kayaking and swimming around here is absolutely stunning. In terms of accommodation, just a note in this area, you do have some more RV parks and more campgrounds that you can explore. Definitely book them well in advance, because we are only a chain of islands. There aren't many, so they do book up. But in terms of accommodation in general, we're definitely like a luxury destination. So rates will be high, but there are various different star ratings depending on where you go. But there are some beautiful resorts on each and every region, but mainly in this area, you'd likely stay in Marathon, where there are some beautiful family resorts like Isla Bella and Hawke's Cay are some good ones to look at, and probably commute down into the Lower Keys to kind of go for a day out. 7, so we're down the bottom, we get to Key West, and our motto down here is one human family. So it really is a hugely welcoming space to be in. It's got a thriving LGBT community, but there's incredible live music everywhere you go, drag shows, but for the more kind of family-friendly elements, we have some incredible museums to go and explore. Ernest Hemingway Home and Museum, he has 56 cats that lived on the property. Oh, sorry, well, he doesn't anymore, he's obviously gone, but the cats remain. They all have 6 toes. It's a little mutation that is carried through, but they are ginormous. So if you've got any kids that love animals or family members that just love cats, it's a fantastic, quirky place to go and visit. You can learn all about his works and see where he wrote his famous novels and plays. And then also we've got Lighthouse and Keeper's Quarters. So that is obviously the Lighthouse Museum, the Shipwreck Museum as well. Some really fascinating stories to go and explore there. But in terms of kind of, there's some amazing fine dining restaurants, some great bars. I know that's not necessarily the family friendly bit, but I have to tell you anyway. The sunset celebration is absolutely fantastic. It happens every night without fail. People gather on the quay to watch the setting sun. There are tightrope walkers. There's always someone with a fiery hoop and a cat that's willing to jump through it. It's an amazing kind of event and atmosphere, and it happens every night, which is fantastic. So you never miss it, which is great. And then number 8, in terms of activities to do, go on a sunset sailing. So fun fact, you are closer to Cuba by the time you're in Key West than you are to Miami. So you can almost see it in the distance, but you are surrounded by these fantastic sunsets that turn this beautiful mauve and orange. So going on a tall ship is an amazing thing to do. Going on a catamaran or paddle boarding, getting the family out on the boards is fantastic just off Key West as well. There's lots of beautiful activities down here. Some really great hotel options. All of them pretty much, or a lot of them, have their own private kind of beachfront bay area. So tiny, small little beaches that you can sit on and enjoy the day. And number 9, fishing is obviously a key way of life out in the Florida Keys. It's not for everybody, but it is out here because the sun is shining, the water is crystal clear blue, you can have music playing in the back, taking the kids out onto the water, learning about the industry, having a go. Look, the fish are beautiful, they are colourful, they're not like the brown ones we get in the UK, but it's an amazing day out, and everyone we encourage to go always really enjoys it. So you've got the Atlantic style fishing on one side, and you can take a guide with you if you have no idea what you're doing, like me, or you can charter your own boat and have a go. And then on the flip side, you have the Atlantic style fishing, the flat bottom boat fishing, which is a lot more relaxed, and you kind of do that in the calmer waters on the bay side. with the sun setting in the background. But absolutely stunning. Definitely have a go at the fishing. And number 10, okay, if you've got a bit of extra time, definitely get the families out to the Fort Jefferson Dry Tortugas National Park. So this was originally built as a fortress to protect the Florida Keys in Key West. So now you've got fantastic restaurants and museums on there also. You could really spend the whole day here without getting bored, absolutely. You can go jet skiing off Dry Tortugas, you can go snorkeling. There's a lot you can do. My favourite thing is actually taking a walk along the sea wall that goes all the way around the outside of the fortress. It's just above the water level, so it just feels magical, like you're walking on water. But it's a great place to visit, and that is 20 minutes by seaplane or 2 hours by ferry. So depending on your budget, you can get there very quickly or really enjoy the journey. But that is kind of the Florida Keys in a nutshell. It's a great destination to take families. I would 100% recommend that you really take their time exploring the different regions, because each key is very different. In general, we always say about 2 weeks for a Florida Keys holiday. So kind of dividing it up, 2 nights, 4 nights around Key West, because it is the city. There's some beautiful bicycles that you can rent and to get around, very easy to explore. And then if you turn around, you stay another 2 nights in the islands that you didn't visit on the way back. Or you fly directly back to Miami from Key West, super easy. But I have lots of material I can share with you, and I'll make sure I send you our online training link. If you want to go through everything at a quieter pace and take everything in, by all means do. We've got an amazing platform called Florida Keys TV, where you will find all sorts of videos that will be really helpful. And then on our main website, we've got our sample itineraries and also lots of different planning tools. So, and do take a look at our calendar of events, because we have some very quirky festivals that go on. And that might just be something that pushes people over the edge and into booking. But thank you so much for your time. And I will come off my stop sharing and we can ask some questions, hopefully.
We certainly can, Fernanda. Thank you for that. That was fantastic. Okay, well, there's a competition going on now between, obviously, Lisa asking questions for Razzle Khaimah and Daryl Glean, who's been firing questions in for you, Fernanda. So I'll ask which is good. I'll ask a couple of his questions, and I've got another one from someone else as well, or a couple from other people as well. So
great.
Daryl asks, is the Orlando/Key West service daily? Is that something that takes place daily? Good
question. I will have to get back to you, Darren, on that one, because I don't want to give you the wrong answer. I will double check, but it is very frequent, very easy.
Okay. And also on a slightly different note, he asks, is the Turtle Hospital open every day? And is there a charge?
Yes, so there is a charge. Again, I will double check on that, but I think it's about $20. And then, yes, they are pretty much open every day. I think it's just, there's a couple of days, and I think it might be a random weekday and Sunday, I think. So let me double check that one for you as well. Okay.
Now you're getting hoisted here as well by saying things and then people coming back on it, which is great. I love this. I've got Melanie asks, can you, I think she's looking at the sort of picture, as I was, to be fair, on Key West, and it looks very small.
Yes.
So can you walk around it yourself?
Yes, is it, absolutely. Okay, so Key West is 4 miles long by 2 miles wide, to give you perspective. Really easy to walk around. Most people, they'll drive down, drop their car, and then they won't need it for the rest of the time there. So walking around is very easy. Again, as I said, there's trams as well. So for little people with little legs, if they can't be, you know, a bit tired, they can get on the trams and go around the city. There's bike rentals, a lovely way to get around as well. But yeah, it is very easily walkable, but there's some really fun ways to explore it as well.
Do like the fact that we're promoting little people with little legs. That's always good.
I mean, children. Can we just clarify that, please? But also,
can I as well, we have, on that note, you said drive a car down there and drop it, so to speak. Great. Yes. Are there places you can leave it free of charge, if you know what I mean, parking and what have you?
Yes, there are definitely. So they obviously will be further out. Yeah. So, but everywhere is walkable, but it will just mean that you'll have to stomp a little bit further to get back into the centre of the city. But also, if you're staying at your hotel, it's absolutely fine, obviously, to leave your car with your hotel.
No, okay, good. Joe Hall asks, best time of year, I know, but mainly I think she's saying to avoid the hurricanes.
Yes. Okay. So traditionally, we always say the Florida Keys are an all-year-round destination, but our hurricane season is from June to November. So, you know, that's what you have to have in mind. Lots of people don't observe it, and lots of people do. So our most popular time in terms of the UK is always kind of the winter sun. So from November, after the hurricane season, to about April is very busy, good time for us.
Okay, presumably that's sort of, I would guess, February, March is pretty much, or January, February, March is pretty much peak for the internal people as well, in terms of people going down from other parts of the US.
Yeah, absolutely. So, well, it's the biggest time for us, but actually the US, they always come down during around spring break as well. It's a popular time for them.
Okay, fantastic. Right, okay. I've got time for one more. And Joe is obviously trying to compete with Daryl now as well.
Excellent, guys. Come.
We love it. We love it. It's her son is a marine biologist. Just thought she'd get that in there. It's not a request show, but anyway, she just wanted to let you know, because they go down and they love Florida. But is there a minimum age for driving?
Oh, good question. There will be, but again, I will want to check that number exactly for you. Okay. So I'm going to make a note of all of these questions. Simon, please send them to me.
We will pass them all on. Thank you for that. That's really good. We've had some fantastic questions. Really appreciate that, because it's great to get them out there. And as you can see, we've got diving. Sorry, she meant diving, not driving.
Oh, diving. Well, there will be, and I think it's probably in a teenage age, but I think I'm thinking it's around 15 or 13, but let me again double check. Right, but good, I'll take the R out of that one. Diving.
There's a minimum age for dinking as well, isn't there?
Oh God, please, I'll clarify on all three. I'll clarify on all three and then let everyone know. The driving, the diving, and the drinking, we're all sorted. That was me
being silly. I do apologize. Right, fantastic. Thank you so much. Please give us a little bit of detail on your prize, Fenella, and then ask your question. Remember, guys, before she does, it's not, don't reply on the chat or anything. It's on our website, travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar competition.
Yes, don't give away the answer, guys. Okay, so my beautiful prize it's a wall canvas. So we have a famous photographer who does all of our marketing called Rob O'Neill, and we have one of his beautiful prints to give away. So perfect for if you've got your at-home office or you've got any shops, guys. It's a lovely one. So please do enter. And our question is, let me just gather myself. What was my question? Yeah. So where we have an airport in the Florida Keys, on which island region is the airport? So I just need the name of the island region that the airport is in. But don't tell me now. Put it on the Travel Bulletin link.
Yes, absolutely. Go to our website, go to travelbulletin.co.uk/webinar /webinar competition after we've finished, and it will be live. So again, just to recap, that was a decorative wall print of the Florida Keys, and the question was, which island region has its own airport? Thank you to Fenella. Please, if we can, welcome back Emma as well. We're coming to the end of our webcast. It's been a short one today, actually, but I think really great, and some great questions. And we really appreciate, I love the competing for the sort of all the ask as many questions as you can. Great. Thanks to Daryl, thanks to Joe, and thanks to everyone who's asked a question as well. Thank you very much, guys, for your presentations today. We really appreciate you doing it, and it's great to give everyone's really happy with it, so they seem to be all replying. So thank you all guys for joining as well. We hope to see you again soon. If we can all just say goodbye to everyone, and we'll see you all next time. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Have a good week. Bye.
Thank you both. Right, fantastic. See you again soon.